So you've come to the channel today because you've got problems with the tension on your Brother sewing machine. You've tried everything, haven't you? You've cleaned the machine, you've changed the thread, you've changed the bobbin, changed the needle lots of times, you've tried the tension dial on every single number. You might be at the point where you're going to throw your machine out of the window, but don't, because I'm really glad you're here. What this channel is all about is saving you frustration, time, money, but the end goal is to prevent machines like this from ending up on landfill. So the quick and easy fix, it really is quick and easy. I've got lots of videos on this machine already and a lot more coming. Lots of tips and lots of tricks, so look out for them. And we're getting a stitch there, which looks absolutely fine. If I pull the bobbin thread, that thread comes out really easily, which is not ideal. Okay, I'm going to sew on number 4, and number 4 is a zigzag. Pull this out, and you'll see the top looks great, but the tension on the bottom is too tight. How do I know it's too tight? Well, the blue is showing. The blue is on the top. The bottom is so strong, so tight, it's managing to pull the blue through. Okay, so I don't think 5 will cut it. I'm going to try 6. Doesn't seem to have made a difference. I've seen a lot more of that salmon pink. Okay. Number 9 seems to have worked. That's fine, but it's still not quite right. It still needs tightening up. But if you have this machine, which is why you're here, you'll know I can't turn that anymore. So I'm stuck at that number and still not giving me a perfect stitch. I'm going to see if a 3-step zigzag works, and that's number 13. Okay, that's fine. So I can still see some of the blue thread underneath, which isn't ideal, is it? All the way across. Because the number dial is stuck at 9 and we're still not getting the perfect stitch, and we want to turn that dial a little bit more, what we're going to have to do is recalibrate the tension dial. And the way we do that is we're going to pull the numbers off because they're set at the wrong place. 4 isn't actually right and 9 isn't right. So we're going to pull that number plate off. We're going to have to get down to that screw, just like on the Essex machine. When we turn the screw on the Essex machine, it tightened the spring. I'm going to grab very sharp scissors. In fact, I might just take one piece off. I'm going to pull this sticker off. I think I found it easier when I came to 0 because there's a tiny little nodule there. Just carefully pull away that sticker, and beneath it you reveal the screw. Before we make any mistakes, I'm going to go through this carefully and slowly so you don't undo anything. This line here matches the number 4. This node here matches that little cut in that 0, just between 0 and 9. So if I put that back up there like that, that will read me number 4 at the top. And that's the number I want at the top when I've set the tension perfectly. So don't worry about where this is for the minute. As long as when I found the tension perfectly right, I want to make sure that line sits matching the top of the mark there. You want to put this somewhere safe. And I've just got a clean plastic bag there, and I'm just going to stick it to that. And that way the sticker at the back isn't going to get mucky. All right, we've got this screw exposed. I'm going to hold that really firmly in place, and then I'm going to turn the screwdriver left, lefty loosey, loose, loosens it up, and make sure you turn it all the way, okay, and allow that screw to come out before you let go of your dial. Don't let go of the dial before you've done that. I'm going to press on the bottom very carefully and then gently just pull this off, okay. The reason you do it gently is because this whole mechanism here now, all of this is loose and it is liable to fall out. We're going to turn this dial, because what this does inside here is there's a little notch there, or this spoke here, which stops the dial from turning, and I can see it's damaged all around there, and probably damaged because it's been forced. So whoever had this machine before has forced this to turn, and unfortunately any more and this might have completely gone, or this spoke here, which stops the dial from turning, could have been damaged. So don't force your machine. If you've got a problem, just head over to my channel and ask me for help if I haven't got a video for you already. So we're just going to turn this clockwise, because if we turn it clockwise, that's going tighter, isn't it? So remember the adjustment I need to make. When the machine was at 4, I adjusted it all the way up to 9 for it to work almost properly. So this screw, which is controlled by this dial, that was saved at 4. And then what I want to do is turn it almost a half turn, don't I? So that was my old 4 where it doesn't work, and that's my 9. So I want to turn it so it's all the way over to here. So now hopefully that's going to be what I needed to do. That's all I needed to do to have this machine working. Now I've taken the thread out. So when you rethread the machine, you want to make sure you get the thread through the dials as you thread the machine up. Now you can see I've not put the dial back on yet, but I did make sure I got the thread in the tension discs. Let's do some zigzags. I'm going to go back to number 4. So that is my zigzag. So it was almost correct. We need it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to just turn it a roughly 1 more number worth. And I think we're almost there, aren't we? We've almost got that perfect. Okay, so they're the last 2 numbers, turns I've done. So that was almost perfect, and then a bit more, and I still see some blue. But if I flip it over, that last one, you can see some pink. And that's unfortunately the thing about machines like this one. You're never going to get 100% balance, you just won't. But I would say that was probably the best we're going to get from this machine. I'm going to see what our 3-step zigzag does. Okay, and there we go, that's way better. So you've got some blue showing, which is quite obvious in some parts, isn't it? Whereas there you have less obvious blue threads coming through, and in some parts it's perfect, it's going through perfectly. So on the top they were fine, and on the back much better. So I'm happy with that adjustment. So what I need to do is just put everything back together again. So do you remember this mark I showed you? That's where we want our number 4 to be. That's our neutral zone. So I want that to match up with the mark at the top. I'm going to just pop that in very, very carefully. Don't adjust the dial at all. Okay. So again, I'm going to hold on really tight. So I'm going to use great care to make sure I hold on to that in position. So pop that screw in very carefully. I'm going to hold on tight to the top. So as I press onto the screwdriver, I'm going to hold the dial really tight and turn the screw and tighten it up. You might need to apply more pressure to the dial, but don't worry, as long as it doesn't move. If it does move a little bit, don't panic, because you can just say, okay, I'm going to start using number 5 as my neutral. As long as it's not number 9 or 0 or the high or the low numbers. Okay, I think we're done. I think that's fine. I'll stick it back, and then that's going to match. So that 4 is going to match with that, and that is going to match there. So just make sure we put that in. Before I stick it down properly, I'm just going to go to 4 and just make sure I've done that correctly. Looks great on top, and it looks fine on the bottom. So that was pretty easy, wasn't it? We didn't need to do a lot of sewing before we actually got to the fix. Just remember, take it slow. Don't rush it. You don't want to make any mistakes. But if you do find that something's gone topsy-turvy, something's gone a little bit wrong, leave it in the comments. Or if you found it really useful, tell me what you found useful about it. It will help me make sure my future videos are here and designed to support you. And before you go, if you haven't liked this video, it's helped you, please do like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I'm going to show you how to do some free motion embroidery. I'm going to show you tips on how to use other feet, how to get the best out of some of these stitches which people do not use. Thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.